Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. And today we are looking at a toy from the Power of the Force collection. These came out in the late 90s. You could either get them in a red box or a green box. And I believe this one is actually one of the green boxes because I don't have the box anymore. But it is it's an Imperial speeder bike with Luke Skywalker in indoor gear, and I'm sure everyone recognizes this from Return of the Jedi. And it was a set you bought, and it came with the bike and Luke came with a lightsaber and a blaster pistol. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pick Luke up and show him to you real quick and show you what he does. And you'll see here that he does have a lightsaber, his green lightsaber, and a blaster pistol. And you can see he's wearing his little indoor helmet and poncho. And the poncho is removable, but the helmet is permanently attached to his head, so you can't take that off. But I'll show you how the poncho works here in a second. But if you look at the pistol, he's got one that's very similar to what Han Solo has. And it does come out of his hand. And one of the problems with this figure is because he rides the speeder bike, his hand is in a position where it's really wide open because of the handles on the speeder bike. If you look at them, they're really big for this figure. So they had to compensate by making some of the handles on some of the toys. Come on, focus on this thing. There you go. But you see how big the handles are that he has to hold? So to compensate for that, they had to give him weapons with big handles. If you look at the lightsaber, you'll see it's at the handles kind of oval shaped instead of a circle, and it's a little bit bigger, and that's so he can hold it in his hand. And one of the other problems you're going to run into is, see how he's holding the blaster? It's in his hand, but it comes out really easy. If you just kind of tap it, it falls out. And there you can see how big his fist is, or his hand is, the position it's in to hold the speeder bike handle. But the lightsaber does stay in pretty good because it's enlarged, and it stays in there fairly well, but it does come out, and you just pop it out. And here you can get a look at the handle, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's kind of like an oval shaped enlarged handle, so you can hold on to it. It's not round like your typical handle. So, but let me show you. This is how you take the smock off, or the poncho. It's pretty easy. You just pop his head through. It's just a little piece of flexible rubber. And here's what Luke looks like up close. And his head does move left and right. He has shoulder joint movement. And one of the unique things about this figure is you'll see he has hip and knee movement. And that is so he can ride the speeder bike, of course. So let's go ahead and put his poncho back on. And it's really easy. You just lift his arms up. You slide his head through, and you kind of just push it through until he pops through. And there you go. He's got his poncho back on. And real quick here, let's look at the speeder bike. And if you buy, there's several figures that come with this bike. You can get a Luke, a Leia, or a Biker Scout. All from Return of the Jedi. And each vehicle comes with a separate figure. So, and this is of course Luke. If you look underneath here, you'll see the rotating blaster cannon. And the foot pedals actually move the back flaps. So when you push the pedal down, the back flap goes up, and both of them work that way, so you can move the back flaps. And unfortunately though, when you actually put the figure on here, his feet can't touch the flaps, and that's a little bit disappointing. But I just want to show you guys the bike from all sides and all angles real quick. Okay, and let's go ahead and stick Luke on here. I'll show you how that works. It's pretty cool. So of course you're going to want to bend his knees And he just slides right on there. And really the only thing that holds him on the bike is his hands gripping the handles here. So when you put him on there, he's not going to really stay on unless you put his hands on the handles there. So and also, like you can see how I was talking about earlier, the feet don't really reach down to the pedals, because if you remember in the movie, that's where their feet rest, and then when they would push down they would go faster, like a throttle. And then when you actually sit the bike down, it's got a little bit of a springiness to it, so that's kind of nice. And one of the little tricks it does is, if you look at this little back part here, you'll see there's a little pack you can, and this pack is actually a button, and when you push the button, the bike is going to explode into 3 pieces. So I'll show you how that works. Ready? And so of course if Luke's on there, he's going to get flung off. And to reassemble the bike, it's really easy. You'll see here there's a little, this is the little tab that launches it, and when you push the pack button, you can see the little, oh, mine's getting stuck, come on buddy. But you push the button and it releases the little catapult launcher. So that's how it works. Okay, and so to put it back together, the first thing you want to do is you have a little clip in the front here, and there's a little peg in the back here, and so you want to line the little clip on the front up with the front of the bottom, and you're trying to get that peg in this hole, if you see it. That's okay. So you put the front peg in here, and then you just kind of, there we go. And you'll hear it snap. And that's how you know it's all back together. And so anyway, then you take the front forks here, and you're just going to line them up and push forward, and you'll hear them snap in. There you go. And that's how you put it back together. One more time, we'll go ahead and explode it so you guys can see what it looks like when Luke's off. So once you push this button, this is what you'll get. And he is down for the count. And reassembly is very, very easy. You just kind of line it all up and push down and back at the same time. There you go. Once you hear it click, you know you're good to go. Slide the forks in, you just push back, straight back. There you go, it's all together. One of the other problems, if you decide to purchase this vehicle, one of the problems you're going to run into, it is small and delicate. It's really easy to break some of these pieces. But one of the things is, I was showing you earlier how the flaps work. When you push this pedal down and the back flap goes up, well, the way that works is there's a spring on this flap, and it's really small and hard to see, but there's a little plastic part that comes up through the bike and attaches to the flap right here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not because it's so dark. But anyway, what I'm trying to show you is right here on the flap. If this thing would focus, come on. There we go. But anyway, sometimes where the lever or the pedal connects to the flap, it comes loose really easy. It's not broken, it's really easy to reattach it, but it's just kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. So you just got to be aware of that if you decide to purchase this vehicle. The pedal and the flap that are connected disconnect really easy, and there's just a really small part in there, if you can see it moving, but there's a really small part back there that kind of is like a little hinge connection. And see there, you can see mine just came loose. There you can see the little clip right there, and then see, now when I pull the lever down, the flap stays up. So what you got to do is you got to kind of put a little bit of force behind the flap and line it up and push it in. And there you go. You can see it's reattached now. Let's see, it just popped out again. There we go. Oh, come on. See, it can be frustrating, but there you go. Now it's reattached. You can see it just popped loose on me again. So anyway. Well, there you go. I just want to show you one of the defects of this vehicle that you can run into, because I have several of them and all of them do it. So you just have to be aware of that if you decide to purchase this. That is one of the flaws you're going to run into. See, there it went on me again. Come on, guy. Okay. But there he is, everyone. There is your Luke Skywalker on Imperial speeder bike in indoor gear. And thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.